you have audio going into your floor?
All right. Thanks, Coach, for joining us. We're going to jump right into the Q&A session. We're going to go with this gentleman right here first. Go ahead.
Coach, if this team was together, if the team you played tonight, the All-Stars, together and playing in the Premiership, where do you think they would finish?
Okay. I don't know. I think that the All-Star, the MLS All-Star have a great quality, wonderful player like Kaká, Villa, and company, Dempsey. I think that all players are top level. I think it's difficult to know, but I think that they have a big skill and a top quality.
If I can just ask you guys to please state your name and organization and ask your question slowly, please, so Coach can understand.
Simon Borg, MLSsoccer.com. Mauricio, the showing by Kaká, do you remember playing against him yourself? Has he really changed much? He was the best player on the field, no?
Yes, I think that we play again. I play again Kaká in Spain. I think he's an unbelievable player. It's a lot of prize for him because I still play very well, and maybe today was the best player on the field. I think that it's a pleasure, a big honor to see him on the pitch.
Right here to Kyle, please.
Kyle McCarthy, Fox Soccer. Mauricio, did you get what you expected out of this game tonight as you look forward to the season opener in a couple weeks' time?
Yes. Our expectation was to expect a very tough game, difficult for our player. We are in a pre-season. It's tough for the player to play tonight, but I think it was a great experience for us.
Any other questions for Coach? Go ahead.
Coach, any other players from the MLS All-Stars aside from Kaká and Villa, you know them? Any other players catch your eye, even by number, if you know them by number?
No, I think that they all play well tonight. I think, but we need to recognize, the player that create or have more skill, like Kaká or Villa or Dempsey, but a lot of good players are on the MLS.
Any other questions? Diego, right here.
Diego Pinzón, futbolmls.com. Mauricio, se habla sobre Javier Hernández como un posible reemplazo de Adebayor. ¿Qué hay de cierto en eso y pues cómo lo están planteando ustedes en este momento?
Hay muchos rumores sobre muchos jugadores. Es la época donde se tiene que hablar sobre refuerzos. Bueno, rumores, son todos rumores.
Mauricio, just curious what you thought of DeAndre Yedlin tonight and how realistic it is for him to stick with the club this season.
Yes, we need to see him, to speak with him, and maybe stay with us on the next season, or maybe no. He was on the World Cup, and he met us here on Denver. He needs time to show his quality, and we'll decide in the next few weeks.
Blue shirt in the back.
Andrew Kennis with MX. Coach, dos preguntas. Primero, ¿cómo está lidiando con las presiones y el estrés Harry Kane después de una temporada tan buena como tuvo la última vez, en que sigue siendo tan joven y todo eso, y con las expectativas? Y el otro es sobre el interés del equipo o falta de con Javier Hernández, Chicharito.
Bueno, Harry está llevando muy bien la presión o o ser el foco de atención en estos momentos en el equipo, en la Premier. Es nuestro goleador, pero bueno, él tiene una madurez que lo hace muy natural la situación que está viviendo. Y acerca de Javier Hernández, bueno, rumores y nada en concreto. Es el jugador de Manchester United y lógicamente que está claro que salen muchos nombres asociados a Tottenham y Javier es uno más.
Mauricio, Hipólito Gamboa, Time Warner Cable Deportes. Normalmente en la pretemporada se le llaman partidos de preparación y a veces pensamos que los resultados importan o no. En este caso, contra la MLS, ¿importa el resultado?
Bueno, el resultado siempre importa porque somos competitivos, queremos ganar. Está claro que no estamos contentos de haber perdido esta noche, pero sí está claro por las condiciones en las cuales nos encontramos y por la situación también. Yo creo que bueno, ha sido un partido que podríamos haberlo ganado por las ocasiones que creamos, pero bueno, no hemos tenido fortuna de cara al gol. Pero bueno, hay que sacar muchos aspectos positivos sobre hoy. Y lo más importante es empezar la Premier en la mejor forma posible.
Any last questions for Coach Pochettino? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. If we will have Coach Mastrani join us shortly, as well as Kaká. Is this anybody's cell phone? Okay. That's all right. And in order to facilitate the press conference, we're going to have Kaká do a Q&A first, and we'll release him, and then we'll have Coach do his Q&A. Anybody need stats? going to go ahead and start with a Q&A. Coach Mastroianni is also going to be joining us. There he is. Like I mentioned before, we're going to have Q&A for Kaká, and then we're going to release him, and then Coach will stay and answer your questions. So, questions for Kaká, please. Right here.
Paul Tenorio from the Orlando Sentinel. Ricky, you talked about having watched All-Star games as a kid growing up and wanting to take part in one. How kind of important was it for you to really embrace this moment, and how pleased are you with the way you were able to play tonight and winning the MVP award?
Hello, good evening. Not bad for my first All-Star, right? Goal, assist, and MVP. I didn't expect that for tonight. As I said yesterday, I thought we could win, as we won, but I didn't expect to score, assist, and MVP, so I'm so happy for that. And I think everybody's happy because tomorrow in the soccer world, everybody will talk about the MLS All-Star team beat a very good European team.
Great. Kyle, right here.
Kaká, Kyle McCarthy, Fox Sports. Kaká, you mentioned the importance of an MLS team coming out and beating a top team like Spurs. Does that enter your mind as you get ready for a game like this, that you're representing the league and that this game sort of matters from a perception perspective?
Yesterday we talked about to be the All-Star conference against conference, but after today I can say that it's very good. The sensation is very good when you just met this kind of players and you have the new coach, put everything together, and we beat a team like Tottenham. It's the feeling after the game. It's very good. So I think everybody is happy tonight and proud of what we did on the field.
Right here.
Marco Cummings, MLSsoccer.com. Kaká, in the first half, you mostly played with American players, except for Villa, of course. What was it like for you playing with all those American players?
It was very good, a very good feeling. We just met yesterday. We had one training, and we could play like we played the first half. So this is show how the players was motivated for the game and how they smart are the players, because everybody wanted to win and put everything on the field and play with this guy. These guys, the end is easy.
Michael.
Franco Panizo, SBI Soccer. Kaká obviously scored the goal, he got the assist, but on the other end, Nick Romando came up with a bunch of big saves in the first half. What did you think of his performance today?
Oh, he was unbelievable, and I think he saved the game because the first one was amazing. The second one was great as well, but the first one was amazing and probably will be the tie 1-1. So we have to say thank you for him because in the end he saved the team.
Jeremy Jerez, Mile High Sports. Tell us something about playing under Pablo and what are some strengths of his that you've seemed to like?
It's very good. It was very good. Met him yesterday, had a training, and it's not easy for a coach that we have to put some players together and win the game because after was important for everybody and also for him was important to beat Tottenham, and so it was a great experience. So thank you for the coach for this experience. I hope we can see each other in other opportunities.
Doug McIntyre from ESPN. Kaká, you played at the top level for so long. Was there a little bit of extra motivation to step on the field against a big European team tonight?
I think the motivation is personal. So every day my motivation is to win. Yesterday I told you that my motivation was win this game as well. And today I think we showed how motivated we were to win the game. In the end, our motivation was the difference, made the difference, and we won. And we beat a team like Tottenham.
We'll take the last few questions. Go ahead.
Fred Dreyer, USA Today. Kaká, congratulations. You only had one training session with the full guys. What did you guys work on? What did you talk about? How was that one training session for you?
Great job the coach did. No, we had some normal trainings, also because a lot of players came from play a game the weekend, so it was not easy. But he tried to do something to understand how the players play and know each other a little bit better. And he told us something yesterday. He showed us something today, as he would like that we played, and also as Tottenham played. So he tried to be the same coach, I think, that he's for Colorado, and in the end it was very good.
Joseph Lazarowitz for Vancouver USA. Kaká, você já falou para pessoas que o Brasil, né, o futebol brasileiro precisa aprender da MLS e as coisas como a organização. Você acha que o jogo do All-Star é uma coisa que precisa ver e pôr no futebol brasileiro também?
Acho que o jogo do All-Star é uma questão cultural também, porque não é do futebol, é uma questão do esporte americano. Então, acho que para implantar isso em outros países, você precisa um pouco conhecer a cultura e saber se isso é possível. Como aqui nos Estados Unidos já faz parte da cultura do esporte e o povo entende isso muito bem, funciona muito bem. Nos outros países, na Europa, até mesmo no Brasil, isso precisa ser estudado melhor para saber se funcionaria. De qualquer forma, foi uma grande experiência para mim poder participar de um jogo como esse, entender como funciona e realmente a organização do evento e tudo que envolve o All-Star Game foi fantástico, uma experiência realmente inesquecível para mim.
All right, we're going to take the last 3 questions. Go ahead.
Kaká, Hipólito Gamboa, Tanguán Equebo Deportes. Decías al principio que estás contento porque mañana van a hablar de la victoria de la MLS All-Star ante un equipo como Tottenham. ¿En qué ayuda este tipo de cosas a la liga en esta etapa en que está todavía creciendo y mostrándose al mundo?
Bueno, principalmente en visibilidad. Yo creo que enseña al mundo lo que está pasando aquí, los jugadores que estuvieron aquí, cómo ganó al Tottenham. Entonces esto demuestra, enseña a toda la gente del mundo del fútbol lo que está pasando en Estados Unidos. Por eso mañana van a hablar y decir de este resultado, lo que pasó, y claro, todos empiezan a mirar para aquí con buenos ojos y una manera muy distinta de cómo venían antes.
Kaká, Diego Pinzón de futbolmls.com. Tener que trabajar en una semana tan apretadamente después de que vienen ustedes de jugar en Nueva York y luego tener ya que pensar el próximo fin de semana en el siguiente partido, ¿les habría gustado quizás tener un poco más de espacio para eso? Y también, ¿cómo hacen ustedes para olvidarse del partido que viene y concentrarse en el de hoy?
Bueno, este es un trabajo mental importantísimo, porque sales de un partido como nosotros salimos de un partido de Nueva York, tienes que cambiar el chip para un partido como este, que para mucha gente es un partido de fiesta, para nosotros es un partido que cuenta muchísimo, y ahora tengo que cambiar otra vez porque jugamos el sábado ya un partido importantísimo. Entonces, para mí es un entrenamiento, cada día es un entrenamiento, porque es esto, es un trabajo mental, de cambiar, de poder estar concentrado y motivado para todos los partidos.
All right, we'll take the last question, and then we will transition over to Coach.
Simon Borg, MLSsoccer.com. Kaká, I'm going to ask 2 questions in one. First, did you fight Pablo Mastroeni to stay in the game for the second half? And second, you say you followed the All-Star game. What's the All-Star performance in other American sports that stayed in your mind, that affected you, that that motivated you to be in this one?
No, because he told us yesterday that probably we had 2 teams and we're going to play 45 and 45. So I could do it, but
you would have won.
Yeah.
I would have put it out there again.
And the All-Stars, I remember the NBA All-Stars, and because I had a lot of cards from the All-Stars, NBA players and everything, so be part of this today was incredible experience for me.
Great. Thank you, Kaká.
Thank
you
you.
are now released, and you can head back to the locker room. We'll transition over to Coach Mastroeni. Questions for Coach. We'll start right over here, and then we will make our way over.
I have no
Go ahead, Graham.
Coach Graham Parker, ESPN. All-Star games often sort of fall into the pattern of All-Star teams defending deep and trying to sort of break and get the odd chance on the counter, but it seemed like you really took the game to Spurs for a lot of that first half. I mean, how much of that was by design? Or?
Well, listen, it was tough to prepare. We didn't have a lot of time. The roster was finally settled this afternoon at noon. So thank God it was a PowerPoint because I was able to change it quite a bit. But the focus, initially to start the game is knowing that Tottenham is in the peak of their preseason, getting prepared for the start of their season there. I knew they were going to come in and press. And for me, mentality is everything. And so I felt that it was important that we keep a high line and really make it difficult for them to play out. And I think the guys applied themselves really well in the first half and were really able to make them think about where they wanted to play in the areas. And for the most part, I think they did a good job. Obviously, when they broke, they're a very dangerous team, well-coached team, and Nicky made some big saves as well. But that was the preparation. That I showed some film and some slides. But again, when you have footballers like Kaká, like David Villa, like Dempsey on the front lines, they're always playing off one another, and that's what makes them some of the best pros in the world.
Fred.
Fred Dreyer, USA Today. Coach, you had players who were named to the team by fans. You had players that you had chosen yourself. What factors went into your starting lineup today?
Well, I think for me it was a couple different things. One, I wanted to get the guys that the majority of the guys that were voted by the fans on the field. I think that's important, but not only their fans but by their peers. And so the front three were, for me, obvious choices. I think as we went further back into that lineup, continuity was important. Excuse me. And I think the back line has played together. Other than Beltran at the international level, and maybe him as well, and then Nicky behind them in goal, and I felt that continuity was important. And then obviously Graham and Jossie as well, and I think Dax is one of the more underrated deep line midfielders in this league. So, it's tough to do. I think it was, we wanted to, like I said, we wanted to get off to a good start, and I thought continuity and being very dynamic in the attack was really important.
Pablo, es un poco de esto y algo que decía ayer Kaká y lo reiteraba hoy acerca del problema para el técnico de formar el equipo con tantas estrellas. ¿De veras fue así? Y la otra es, ¿qué fue diferente en este juego a los otros All-Stars que has visto en la liga?
Pues sí, claro que fue difícil armar el equipo y juntar el grupo y armar un grupo de una mentalidad, pero hablamos ayer, hablamos esta tarde, pero lo más importante para mí es la mentalidad y quizás los jugadores que querían jugar están en la cancha y para mí es lo más importante porque el esfuerzo contra un equipo, contra Tottenham es muy importante y si no está concentrado es imposible ganar y por eso tengo un orgullo para todos los jugadores que se aplicaron muy bien y ganaron contra un gran... Pues hablamos del juego de estrellas, el este contra el oeste y como dijo Kaká, hay otro sentimiento después de un partido contra un equipo de este nivel de Europa y creo que todos nos sentimos muy bien sabiendo que es muy difícil juntarnos como un grupo y ganar contra un equipo tan grande.
Marco Cummings, MLSsoccer.com. Pablo, based on what you saw tonight from Tottenham, how do you think they would fare as a team playing in MLS?
They'd definitely be on the top of the table somewhere. I've watched quite a bit of footage on them, followed them a bit last year. They have a fantastic coach in Mauricio, a guy that I was able to spend some time with last night and pick his brain and I've seen some of his training sessions and just his knowledge and the way he carries himself and more importantly the way his players respond to him and I think you saw that tonight. I think it's a team that is in preseason at the moment, but they're still sharp and they're still dynamic in a lot of different ways. So I think if that team came to the MLS, I think they'd be a top tier team and very difficult to beat, well organized, dynamic, and then obviously with a guy like Harry Kane up front, I think they did very well.
And Kyle McCarthy, Fox Soccer. Pablo, this is probably the first time you've had a chance to interact with Kaká on an extended basis. What were your impressions of him, and obviously, what was it like for you to coach him tonight?
You know, my first impression was seeing that, his desire to be here was tremendous. And for a guy that's done pretty much everything you can do in a football career, and still have this desire to come and participate in a game in Colorado in altitude midweek and be excited and hungry about it, I think speaks more about the human than the player. And for me, this is the most important element of any player, because it's what drives you when the technique isn't there. And so I think he rubbed off, even if it was for a moment, on a lot of us about what it takes to be great, not just at soccer, but for me as a coach as well. You know, too often we find ourselves complaining about a lot of different things and why things aren't going our way. And I think he exemplifies the type of human being that it takes to be great. And so for me, it was fantastic to be in and around him, the way he carried himself, the way he answers every single question anyone asks him, signs every shirt, paper, or whatever. Just an exemplary human being. It was really a privilege.
Doug.
Doug McIntyre, ESPN. Pablo, you said you've seen Tottenham play quite a bit. I'm curious how much of that was specifically scouting them for this match.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him. I say quite a bit. You know, I don't TiVo Tottenham games by any stretch, but I've seen him last year or this year, the latter part of their 2015 season, and then obviously watched them film. And again, their movement was really dynamic, and it was in preparation for this game. Not to give the guys that kind of information, but to try to come up with some type of schematic that is simple and easily applicable. And I think, again, this has more to do with the type of players that stepped on the field that were able to absorb the type of information and apply it, right? So I think, again, it was a fantastic thing to be a part of, and I think this Tottenham team is going to make some noise in the Prem this year.
Paul Tenorio from the Orlando Sentinel touched on Kaká off the field tonight. Saw maybe what he could do on the field. What were your thoughts on just kind of seeing him play at that level, to have that type of influence on a game against a team like Tottenham? Still, and he's played pretty well early on in his MLS career as well. Just your thoughts of seeing him.
Yeah, no, I think tonight he was fantastic. And it makes such a difference when you got guys in those positions that can hold the ball in tight situations, bring their players into the game, and then go back and find it again. And I think during very hectic moments, he was able to find the calm in the game and really take the sting out of it, move the ball around, get in dangerous positions. And I think I think he's in great form at the moment. And I think, again, this is a midweek game. It's tough to get up for this thing. And like he said, this is an important game for everyone, for our league, and for him to play at the level he did tonight. Especially for me, the moments in transition where we went from defense to offense, how quickly he was to find a spot, to then make his first touch forward, to then bring his players or his teammates into the game, I thought relieved a lot of pressure and got us going in the right direction. So he was a catalyst in a lot of things we did tonight. And again, great players do great things.
All right, any last questions for Coach? All right, the last one right over here.
Coach, a 2-for-1 again. You played with Nick Romano. You guys came in the league together. Here he is still playing. I'd love your impressions on him and the career he's had. And then in Spanish, I heard you say that you're turning around. You were East-West guy before. Now you feel different about it.
Well, yeah. Well, first, Nick Romano. I think, I remember Nicky when he came in the league. His eyes were big. He was so excited to be a part of it. And to see his growth over the last, whatever it's been, probably, 15, 16 years, has been tremendous. And he gets up for these games that are tight and that you have to stay in them. And I remember in training when we were in Miami, he was impossible to beat, And I think tonight I'm sure Harry left the game going, this guy, he stoned me a couple of times. I don't get it, you know. And he's not big in stature. He's not, but just amazing when it comes to reaction. Amazing when he's in tough situations. And so, really proud of Nick. And having said that, he was possibly not going to play tonight because he had a knee injury, and he couldn't really kick the ball. And I said to him, listen, I'm not making any decision. You've got a lot of experience. I'm going to leave it on you to decide whether or not you play. And so yesterday after training, he was kind of, I don't know. And by last night, he was, you know what, I'm feeling it. Even if I can't hit the ball with the inside of my foot, I want to play. And so I said, this is yours, man. This is it. So just taking responsibility from, you know, not the same kid that came in 15 years ago, obviously evolved a great deal. And to put forth a performance like that, not being 100%, again, speaks volumes of great players. So the East-West thing, you know, it's twofold. I think, you know, celebrating soccer in this country, especially with more and more players coming from abroad and really being able to showcase our talent is fantastic. If you ask me which one showcases the talent better, whether it's playing 22 guys from two different conferences or if it's beating a team like Tottenham, you know, I think it might be beating a team like Tottenham. And it feels better just from we've always been perceived as a league that's up and coming. And I'm saying, well, as the years go by, we will soon be that league that everyone thinks we can be. So it's, you know, again, it's easy to make statements when you haven't experienced it yourself. But having experienced it, like Kaká said, it feels great to get the type of validation from winning against a team like Tottenham as far as where we're going in the near future in this league.
Great way to close it out. Thanks, Coach, and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The MLS locker room is open right through these doors to the right, and then the Tottenham mix zone is just past it. Thank you.